What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Hippo Supercoach, and today going over the Saturday night games. So going to talk about the afternoon game and the evening game. Before we get into that, I want to talk about my trades. So ended up bringing in Elliot Yeo in, which is I'm not too unhappy about. Traded out Sicily, Cameron for Briggs, and then Winhager in for Drury. Look, they're not the greatest trades. I would have much rather have Luke Ryan tonight. Obviously, he went massive, and just the role was just complete cheese. I don't know if that's going to be like that every week, but wow. Yeah, so getting rid of Briggs, not something I really wanted to do, but at this point I have to get rid of someone, and I just think Marshall and English are just slightly safer options to hold. And then obviously Cameron can go on my forward line. So yeah, that's where I'm sitting with that. Let's go through it. So Luke Ryan, 144. That was an absolute pig of a game. I could not believe how much he was stat padding in that back line, and he was just, he was just marking everything, and obviously so much cheap ball. It was like a Zeeble sort of game. So yeah, just complete seagulls Luke Ryan was tonight. And anyone that has him, wow, good job. Luke Jackson's good for anyone that has him. Even with Sean Darcy, still played really, really well. Darcy's disposal efficiency was really bad, so that's a bit annoying for anyone that held him. Matthew Johnson, 99, really, really impressive game from him. I think he got hurt though, but it's probably it anyway. We don't really need him any longer. I think he's going to be bench cover for me, so like an M9 or M10, which I'm really, really happy with him there. I don't have to cash him in, I don't think. Liam Henry played really well. Sarong 105, Brayshaw 130. I thought both these guys played really good games. Brayshaw's pressure tonight was insane. 8 tackles, and there's probably like 3 or 4 of them that weren't counted because they get the handball out. And I think if they get the handball out or if they kick it, I don't think the tackle counts or something like that, or it's not an effective tackle. I don't know how it works exactly, but I think it's something like that. But yeah, Brayshaw played really, really well. Nat 577, so it's not the greatest score, but it's tolerable, especially with scores that we've been getting from guys like Maric. Obviously Sturt only scored the 3, so can't do much about that. He was a sub and he was brought on really, really late. That's pretty much it for Freo, I think. Moving on to Essendon, so Ridley has had another massive game, and at this point, we might have to bring him in. He seems like whatever he's doing is just working. Like he's playing cheesies. Seems like he's getting most of the kick-ins now. I don't know how many exactly he had. I wasn't watching it super closely, but it seems to me that every kick-in that was there, it was like Ridley was taking it. So yeah, you got to be happy if you're a Ridley owner. 137. If you jumped off him, it's just unlucky. Zach Merritt 126. Pretty happy with this score considering he played mostly forward in the last quarter and was very damaging on the forward line. So I don't know, they might actually persist with him there a little bit. Like not full forward, but like half forward sort of player position. But yeah, solid game from Merritt. Good captain score if you have him. Not the best captain score, but still a really, really solid captain score. I'm hoping Leah can go massive tomorrow and just smash everyone else's captain score out of the park. Nick Martin bounced back or followed up his great form with another great game. I don't know if he's the real deal yet, but God, he's got to be pretty close, doesn't he? Like, he's just pumping out good scores every week, it seems. McGrath was good. Hobbs was good as well. Parrish, okay, back on debut, 24 touches and a goal. I thought he played pretty well, so to only score 92, a bit stiff there. And then that's pretty much it for Essendon. There's no one else really relevant that I can think of. Redmond, 67, that's not great. See, I just don't know if we can trust. It's like sometimes, like part of the season they've played more through Redmond, and then like if they're not playing through Redmond, then Ridley goes off. It's like they both don't go off. Really, really weird. I don't know what's going on there. Let's go through the West Coast and Sydney game anyway. So we'll start off with West Coast because they had a shocking game. It was one of the worst games ever. 200 points, like 170 points or whatever it was, 171 points. It's just ridiculous. So Shuey went really well. Tim Kelly well. Yo well. So yeah, Yo I brought in this week. Pretty solid game. He's not going to lose by 170 every week. Tom on ground, which was a little bit concerning. I think the 77%. He was getting like double rotations like all the time. So a bit annoying about that, but yeah. And then in terms of Sydney, Goulden went massive. He's probably a BCC option every week. He's just in such good form. And that's pretty much it from Sydney. I mean, everyone else went pretty big. Mills is one to consider, but got subbed out, so he's going to be very cheap. Sheldrick was good if you got him. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, oh, Melican, rest in peace. Anyone that brought in Melican, very, very stiff. He was like the only one that didn't join in the party. So, anyway, guys, that's it for the games. I hope everyone has a good Sunday, and I'll see you in the next one.